back for more Divinity Original Sin. After fighting an orc party, the team is about to enter Cyseal. And we are greeted by a cat.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel. Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Cyseal. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city.
I was summoned here by a cat.
So you were, and so you weren't. Behold, there we are. Meet my other half, hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one. So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder.
Please tell me more about the murder.
It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead.
Where can I find the scene of the crime?
Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Cyseal proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek.
A councillor has been murdered, so I assume there are some suspects.
So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed. But to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow.
There's something else I'd like to discuss. It may interest you to know that the orcs we took care of were led by a human.
A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts. A shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss such a curious event out of hand.
What exactly is the trouble you're having with the undead?
Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistae, they'd have gotten the better of us by now. Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane.
From what I've seen and heard, this isn't the first time you've had problems with marauding orcs.
Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's already choking throat, and it shows no signs of abating. We've cordoned off the western beach where most orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Maybe they're after some pirate's treasure, the fools.
Do tell me a bit about this cat trick of yours.
Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking a feline guise? Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate speech, perhaps humanity's greatest asset, cannot give expression to something so inextricably innate. To be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your witness. You couldn't possibly imagine the thrill. But of course, it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of two worlds.
I'll take my leave.
I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Feel free to visit me whenever you want. I've set up a workshop in the Legion's headquarters. Once you're there, just take the stairs. But do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Cyseal. And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove to be mere mice, and you the dauntless mouser.
Sex, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored.
Well, what does it
How
matter?
about we go and see that
Day
Warriors
labour's
chap
more
Arthur
suited
mentioned?
to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pair.
So the next step is to go meet Captain Aureus. Let's just continue to explore the docks.
Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orky charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it all within 500 yards of my loving nature.
What's this about?
Ever hear shores here in Cyseal? Bah! A ship's got a soul too, you know. Madness.
Whatever.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Ferrell's carriage with a
Our
joy?
home. Our livelihood. All
Yeah,
sunk
tell me
in a
about
barrel.
yourselves.
We were merchants, what seems like a moment ago. With our ship sunk.
Okay,
we're
what
little
happened
more
here?
than bleeding orcs. I can't keep off this place for the life of
Okay,
them.
about sunk
I
barrels,
came in
about
here
finding
with
work.
our ship gone. Nothing for it but to get a job.
Okay, about that burning
That
ship.
was a right stunning show,
Yeah, I'll
mate.
take my leave. So those guys want me to find a job for them.
500 yards of my loving nature.
Good enough.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Ferrell's carriage with a joy?
Ahoy, sailor! Name's Conrad.
Yeah.
Dog those orcs, I'll tell you.
Nothing good to speak to tell me.
And don't
Okay.
forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Council's wife.
Really? The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope?
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Ferrell's carriage for a joyride?
No, it ain't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Oh, and don't forget the time he got caught passing a love note to the Lizard Council's wife.
Well, I suppose we'd need something to move the chest from afar. Like a telekinesis or teleport spell. What's here?
Salutations! Source hunters, I see. I'm Curtius, is my name. This is a storing house for Legion supplies.
Okay. What exactly is in there? Interesting stuff. Okay.
This place reeks of orcs' nests.
Well, a source hunter. Very hearty, I tell you. This, and of course, every now and again, have you talked to him? Thinks this Jake business. Then again, and you didn't hear this from, but I imagine his youngest, Kimberly, well, it's an
Blah blah blah.
Keep your pleasantries to you if it's conversation you're looking. As for myself, that idiot man-child would sooner spend an hour chatting
If
up a
you
thief
want to
than a
read the
minute
text, just
arrest
pause.
there.
Well, a source hunter. One day, Moira. One day you'll show us.
But indeed. Not even a skeptic like you can deny that she loves
So this is the famous guys with the orc.
Who better than a proven orc crusher to convince my dumbbell of a friend here that orcs are predators?
Enough of that. I know how dangerous an orc can be.
Maybe before the great orc raid we had time to indulge.
Excuse my friend's violent out.
Your woman's touch is less of...
My friend here and I were patrolling. Perhaps a vial of love potion. I'm sure she must have been...
I can assure you there wasn't a hint of
So in short, they found that orc and they splashed a love potion by accident. So
One day, Moira. One day you'll
that
show
love
them all.
potion isn't really that it's a love potion. She's bound to come out of it soon.
She's got to be put down. If this love potion is as dodgy as it sounds, she could come to her vicious senses at any time. I ordered a similar love potion from Gore before, you know. Since you obviously have no special affection for me, I think we can conclude the advertisements just don't deliver.
Think of the intel this creature could provide. And if she begins to revert, these men are armed and will be able to subdue her.
So this is the first time my characters disagree. Of course I did it on purpose.
No, we'll do as I say.
Glad to hear I'm not the only one with common sense around.
No! She's harmless! Please! You bastard! You had no right!
No right to protect not only you from your own stupidity, but myself and the citizens of Cyseal as well.
It's you we need protection from, murderer. Fortunately, the wizards of Gore make a revenge elixir that will show you what's what.
Go ahead and throw your sugar water on me if you like. Your foolishness is no longer my problem. Thank you, stranger. If you ever need help, I'll do my best to repay you.
Yep. Charmed orc isn't really a good idea to have around, especially if that charmed orc is under the effect of a temporary love potion.
Halt! These gates will now be a little red imp's uncle.
Yeah. Let's continue.
From the very
Better to evacuate this place while there's still some left to save, I say. Go while the going's good.
Huh?
Say, no one's around. You wouldn't raise a fuss if I, borrowed one of these fish, would you?
So you want to steal?
Borrow indeed. I'll sooner meet a cat wizard than see that merchant repaid.
Come now, I'll be good for it, I swear!
Are you in the habit of stealing?
I never would have dreamt of resorting to petty theft during better times. But what choice have I got now? If it's steal or starve, I'll choose steal. Oh, my story's tired by now. I was happy enough, prosperous enough, before these lean times around Cyseal began. Still, that doesn't waive a man's need to eat, you know.
This is going to be interesting.
So what do you think? Should I snag a fish?
Everyone needs a hand now and then. Take the fish and none of us will be the wiser. No, that merchant has to eat, you know. Leave the fish alone.
That merchant has to eat too, you know. Leave the fish alone.
Yep. Don't steal.
Yes, you know what they say about giving a man a fish. This man should learn to stand on his own 2 feet.
I suppose you've got a point. Another day, another rumbling belly. A hungry man, you know.
That thief is free for now, but I wonder how long it'll be until his growling belly seduces. Thank you for making that would-be thief. Oh, hello, love.
Yep. Okay, so we needed to go see Captain Aureus. Let's go do that.
Oh, hello there.
Oh. I remember this game.
Yeah, I just finished it recently. So I'm doing a replay on my own. I did a game with one of my friends, so now I'm just redoing it on my own.
What have we here, then? A so-called source hunter, eh? Well, look, do what you must in Cyseal, but don't make waves and don't interfere with the Legion's affairs, you hear?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm Captain Aureus, if you must know, leader of the Legion in Cyseal. By which I mean I have the enviable task of commanding a battalion of walking
Sorry.
dead.
Just wanted to hear my name laugh.
It's alright.
Undo all my soldiers and turn them into drivelling hordes of their own misshapen number.
Let's discuss Jake's murder.
Gods above! Some politician snuffs it and everyone's in an uproar. Ridiculous! I told that wizard brat of an Ahu not to bother, but he just had to send for source hunters, didn't he? Bloody magicians. They see a pigeon poop and think sorcery's afoot. Nevertheless, I want to be kept in the loop. Understand? I am in command of this town. Not Mayor Cecil, not Ahu, and definitely not some hotshot source hunter. So investigate Jake's death if you feel so inclined, but report back to me the moment you discover something out of the ordinary. The scene of the crime is over at the King Crab Inn. You can tell the guard you have my permission to enter. Now off with you!
In regards to Jake's wife, Esmeralda.
Esmeralda is Jake's wife. Well, widow. Everyone in town, down to the crabs on the beach, is convinced she killed him. Now, the girl has the reputation of being a flirt. There is that. But that doesn't suffice as evidence, wouldn't you say? Or do source hunters rely on hearsay alone, perhaps? That certainly would explain some of the cock-ups you lot have made in the past. What? You're going to stand there and claim with a straight face your order never wrongly tortured and executed anyone? Hardly. But I won't stand for such nonsense. If you bring evidence before me, I'll evaluate it with perfect objectivity. The Legion relies on reason, see? Not idle superstition.
I'd like to ask some additional questions.
If you must.
On second opinion, I'll take my leave. So, let's see. Mysterious murder, shipless sailor, blah blah blah. Okay. All good. Upstairs we have this guy.
How can I help you, my friend? But certainly. Oh, my tongue, you see, to my
blah,
but that's
blah,
such
blah,
to me.
blah,
But
blah,
of,
blah.
my, by all, of course. They say, I see. It took a how, and I might. Now it means I can't stand what those the end you have until. Oh.
Alright. Okay. Good to know. Aru told us what happened the night of Jake's murder, 2 cloaked figures followed by a third entered a room.
Blah 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 blah.
Exactly. Shortly afterwards, sound of a great struggle broke out. When the innkeeper went to see what happened, the room was destroyed and Jake was dead and alone. So there was a big struggle.
Sorry, sir. You don't think it's infected, do you?
Come on now, I pulled her off you before she could do any real damage.
But first of all, there is something we need to do.
Source hunters, eh? All right, proper, we're finally getting a hand. Things is chaos. If you've got a favourite sheep, best to fry her up now before she gets thieved in the night like me dear plump Ogget, the finest in me herd. Now that the herd's gone, old Bertie's just scratching by like a hen till the next batch of beasties comes through. I recently sold most of the tender loves to a trader heading north. Plenty of business that way these days. Those miners must be preparing for a mighty great feast. Wish I could have a nibble on my dear darlings, all ground and spiced. Yes. Oh, Ogget's been missing for more than a fortnight. I love that sheep, you know. Was planning to cook her into a fine midwinter night haggis myself. Do tell me if you hear anything about her. I plan on pursuing whoever stole her with my cleaver in hand. Sorry, can't help you there. Haven't got enough livestock left to warrant a hand with the work.
So Bercia is looking for stolen sheep.
But if one were to reduce the quantity of skull dust by a percentage of 2, perhaps the stability could be increased by as much as 3-fold.
Oh, a source hunter. Imagine that. Quite a bit more petite than the last of your kind I encountered, aren't you? Yes, by nearly 20 centimeters of tibia, as my memory serves. But, no matter. Even if it couldn't spare its heartier specimen, I'm sure the Order sent the individual with the next highest probability of success. Huh? Me? Why, I'm more than a little surprised you haven't heard of me. Perhaps I could... It was I who cured the Duchess of Arata of her unslakable thirst. A simple pinch of Atropa belladonna in her morning tea. I who discovered that aging itself can be halted by a single application of... Not to mention that it's been...
Yeah, of course, so your apprentice is in charge.
Yes.
If that's how we're referring to the secretive use of a revolutionary healing method, she's in the other room as we speak. Perhaps you could
Revolutionary healing method?
She's gotten hold of a stone, supposedly capable of fantastic feats. But she claims to have gotten the relic from a little northern town, Silver Glen by utter rubbish, I say. But for these, well, she certainly possesses a critical eye and an exacting manner when it comes. I expect she'll be a very successful healer in her own right when the time comes. She is sorry, but there isn't much work for sailors in a house of med. Certainly, what would you like to know? The counsellor, terrible loss that. Though we were hardly more than acquaintances, I knew him to be a devoted civil. From what I can tell, it seems to be a simple case of jealousy turned violent. The affairs of his wife, Esmeralda, were hardly a secret. I've applied myself to that problem for 2 years and still haven't come a step closer to solving it. I declare it an act of the Almighty's.
Alright.
Healing stone. Interesting indeed.
Nothing sets me on edge like inexplicable magic.
So, which of you is more deserving? Excuse me? This is a private sick room. Who in the name of the Seven do you think you are barging in here? Out, I say, right this instant. Oh, I'm sorry. It's this task. I'm just... Who am I to meddle with life and death this way? I'm an apprentice of the healing arts. Healing. But this decision feels like I've been racking my brain trying to decide on the best method to settle this grave situation. But perhaps it's better off in the hands of an esteemed... What would you like to know?
Boris.
One of the brave few willing to traverse the trade routes plagued by the undead. A young man, but thankfully for him, quite the venerable staple of Cyseal, Stephen, and recently blessed with his 3rd grand. Nearly everyone in Cyseal is familiar. Yes, a curious relic indeed. I got it from a kindly abbot, Loic by name, in the northern town of Silver Glen. I myself was nothing if not skeptical of his claims, but something happened as he handed me the stone. A small cut on my finger, instantly, but it's strange. The stone is only good for a single use at a time before it reverts to a useless, inert state. You are?
Oh, quite the dilemma. Who do we save, the young one or the old one?
Tone, soothing a corpse's troubled mind. Can't have gotten far.
Let's put it to this decision-making.
Boris's life has just begun. We can't cut it short now. He should receive the stone. Boris is nearly our own age. Imagine being cut down now in the prime of your life.
Stephen's death will hurt far more lives than Boris's will. Let's minimize the heartbreak of this terrible situation and save Stephen.
So I guess it is the old guy.
All right, we'll do it your way.
Stephen, it is? Yes, I'll deliver the stone. I'm glad we'll get to save one man, but my heart breaks for the other.
What's
This is highly unusual.
Thank you.
What is this? It's lightning.
What just happened?
What happened? Is this a dream?
I don't think so. That stone, somehow it sent us flying into the stars.
Terrible, terrible! It will consume us all! By the quill that lasts 1 billion words, what's this? 2 Rivalonians end of space and time? How very, very, very curious.
Who are you and how did you get here?
Oh, yes. Proper introductions. Zigzags the historian at your service. It is my job to record all that was and is and hopefully all that is to be. As for how I got here, well, for a historian appointed by the gods themselves, hopping to the end of time is as easy as 1, 2, 3. How you got here, though? That's a rather more interesting question. On such a tiny and rapidly shrinking vestige of space and time, I wouldn't have expected to find a soul but my own shadow.
Why is this place, as you say, shrinking?
Ah, at last a question I can answer most definitively. I mentioned already that this place is the end of time. If that didn't send your heart into your stomach and your pulse a-flutter, it should have. Time ought naturally to have no end at all. Indeed, I can think of no worse nightmare for a chronicler such as myself. But something totally, utterly terrible has happened.
How can time come to an end?
Show, don't tell, I always say. So go, peer through yonder looking lens and feast your soon-to-be terrified eyes on the darkness that is approaching.
May be quite mad.
Then we had better appease him and have a look through the looking lens.
So let's look.
You looked. You saw. Terrifying, isn't... What's this? The portal. It's... The portal has become active. Fantastic. Astounding. Onward we should go. The portal. It's quite sprung to life. Just like the long, dormant flames that decorate this observatory. After all my waiting and hoping, could it be? You, dear stranger, you must be the key. Something about your presence here is causing the end of time to grow. The true end itself to move further away. Those torches, a light! This portal active once more. It cannot be coincidence.
Can we first discuss what we just witnessed through your looking lens?
Goodness me, how right you are. There's so much to take in, I'd nearly forgotten. And what you saw has been haunting my mind since I first discovered it. It is the void itself. The dragon that is devouring creation. When I speak of the end of time, this is exactly what I mean. I can't say for sure where it came from, how or why, but I do know this. It's shrinking our future by the second. And if we don't stop it, it will devour the past and present as well.
You believe we are somehow connected to this plane?
It's not that I believe, it's that I have seen. Long have I been waiting here, hoping that one day this very portal would ignite. Then, no longer than a few mere moments after you arrive, zap it goes. The chronicler of time knows a pattern when he sees one.
What lies beyond this portal?
Ah, though I cannot say for certain, if it is what I believe, then our prayers might well be answered. In fact, every last question that ever plagued your noggin might well be answered, for I believe what lies beyond this portal is nothing other than... But why spoil the mystery? As soon as we leap through, we'll find out for certain.
Through the portal, then?
After you, after you. Oh, what wonders we may find on the other side. You first, but don't dilly-dally. Yes, just as I hoped. There she is. There it is. Come, don't delay.
And he's off.
It seems the imp has spotted exactly who and what he'd hoped to find here.
Could it be, milady? The weaver of time? Mother of history? Author of all that has ever been?
Indeed, Sir Imp. As surely as you are he who chronicles all that I weave.
Astounding! Unbelievable! I have so many questions for you, so much to ask, so much to say.
You have brought guests, I see. Strange. Very strange guests.
My reaction exactly, milady. It was their arrival here at the end of time that instigated my finding you. But why? Surely you must know.
This is a question better put to our guests themselves. Tell us, how did you arrive upon this plane?
If you truly are the Weaver of Time, I imagine you already knew the answer to that.
If any other being in Rivellon asked me about the details of their comings and goings, I could describe them down to the minutest of details. But you are different. Of you I see nothing. I know nothing. So please, do tell me, how did you arrive here?
It was a stone, a strange stone that sat us from where we stood in Rivellon to this plane among the stars.
A stone? So, it was a stone that caused the great shock of energy that brought you here, and it infused you with new life as well. Is that so?
Yes, that's just what happened. Have you seen it before?
Not like this, no. What happened to you is unique in all my work. Never had I experienced something so contrary to my nature. To weave something I had not seen, had not expected. Life does not simply spring into existence, you see, but yours has. You appeared before me from the moment you came into contact with that stone. Starstone. I now know it to be called.
But, Madam Weaver, how is it possible? Do you not see all? Have you not woven all that is and could ever be into your tapestry?
Like the stones, your guests are a mystery to me. I see them before me in this world, but their likenesses appeared not upon my tapestry until they revived the stone. Source hunters. It would seem that yourselves and Starstone are inextricably linked. Why and how, I cannot say, but I do believe that finding more stones will reveal to me who you yourselves truly are.
What is this Starstone exactly? Where does it come from?
Starstone is not what it seems, Source Hunter. Its true nature must be part of a greater secret, a secret lost, even to me. Do you see what violence my work has suffered? What wounds lay upon the tapestry of time?
Mysteries of all time, gaps in history. Oh, how they've tormented me for eons.
It would appear that Starstone transforms at your touch, granting me new thread by which to mend the tapestry. Thus, it restores time itself.
I see. What the void would shrink, Starstone restores.
Yes. Though I cannot explain why this Starstone is the antidote to the void's ravishment of our realm. If we do not restore time, if we do not discover the true nature of these stones, the void will consume us all.
If these stones can heal history, we must seek them out.
Indeed you must, though I may not yet understand why. It seems that you and you alone can unlock the powers within Starstone. Yet we are not the only entities who know these stones to be so much more than pretty gems.
Why, of course, that's what they were doing. I have recorded their doings, you see. Collectors of Starstone, more and more by the day. Now I understand. They'd keep the stones from our reach. They'd prevent the mending of time.
Without these stones, Hunter, there will be no Rivellon. The entire tapestry will crumble. Even this plane will fall victim to the Void's insatiable hunger.
That shall never be, milady. As sure as Zix comes before Zax, we will put a stop to it. First we mend the tapestry, then we stop the void. Please, our most mysterious guest, are you ready? Are you willing? Will you hunt out the stones? Will you help us restore what has been lost?
Okay.
Not but a moment ago, we were hunting Source in Rivellon. And now, we're being told that we alone can prevent the end of time by way of some magical stones. What do you make of it?
We can't deny our reaction to Starstone. There must be something to all of this, mad as it may seem.
Still, it's quite a leap from finding a strange stone to placing the world's salvation on our shoulders.
Quite indeed.
The glint in your gaze? No, with you searching out stars, but you'll need a way to travel between Rivellon and luckily the power of portals is known to you. Off you go then. You've stopped before you go. I hope you'll be able to...
Alright. So we can go back. Well, that's quite the leap in the objective. What happened as a simple investigation turned out to be quite something bigger. Indeed. Moo. What?
Source Hunters, I welcome you once again to the realm of Rivellon after your travels through the chasms of space. Nice to have found a shelter, wouldn't you agree? Where you can come to no harm. I know the imp historian has told you about his agent on Rivellon, and that agent is I. So now that you know of the alliance between me and Sir Zix-Zax, let us turn to the business at hand. Starstone.
Let us do indeed. I would greatly value Zix-Zax's agent's advice.
And I'll be delighted to give it. Dark webs are being woven around these parts, and it is my firm belief starstones are the flies the sorcerer spiders are trying to catch. It can therefore hardly be a coincidence that Councillor Jake was a collector of the stones we seek. His foul murder and the plight of dying time must somehow be interconnected. That means the task you have been given remains crucial. Find the assassin that did away with Jake, for you're bound to stumble upon Starstone along the way.
How did you find out Jake was a Starstone collector?
While you were being lectured by our friend the historian and the Grande Dame of Time, I snuck into his house and had a look around. The advantage of being a cat, you know. You go where you please with impunity. And sometimes the lady of the house even rewards you with a slice of fresh herring. That's where I saw them in a cabinet. Mere slivers, but specks of starstones nonetheless. They lay there, silent and innocent, though bloody murder may have been committed in their name.
Why is it so particularly nice for us to have found a shelter somewhere?
Don't we all long for a sanctuary where our worldly troubles can be held at bay? A bed or a basket so snug it becomes, in a word, safety. But perhaps I speak only for myself, not for veterans such as yourselves that by necessity call any patch of ground they rest upon home. Like any cat worth its salt, though, I deeply cherish a secret refuge unbeknownst to anyone. To be able to repose without a care is such a precious circumstance, save it all too seldomly.
I wonder, do you put absolute credence in the words of Zix-Zax? Time, void, the looming end?
Let me phrase it like Zigzags might. A universe without time is like a pen without ink. A pointless instrument stripped of the potential of creation. It is void. It is death. It is nothing. I'll not pretend to have all the answers, or that I understand all that is happening here and out there among the stars, but I do know I'd rather err on the side of caution. If Zigzags worries, I worry. We are talking about a creature, after all, that has reclined among the divines as nonchalantly as you and I lays beside the hearths of home.
How did you become Zigzag's agent?
I met him first, a long time ago, out in the wastes of Youthal Gore. He wondered aloud what on earth a cat was doing out there in the scorching desert, then shared what little food and water he had with him. So I told him who I was and showed him my human form. He laughed and marveled and told me stories about his travels. In the end, he even shared his great sorrow with me. The unspeakable thing you saw through his looking lens. I was awed and frightened, but swore to help him in any way I could. As of now, that includes helping the two of you.
I'll take my leave.
Oh, before you go, here, take this teleporter pyramid. A handy toy indeed that Zigzags asked me to give to you. You'll need the other one too if you want to make use of its powers, but alas, I seem to have misplaced it. Don't worry though. Use this one here and it'll take you straight to its twin. Now that this matter has been settled, hunters, I shall detain you no longer. But rest assured, I'll do my share of hunting too. So if you spot a white cat during your travels, do stop to say hello.
To say hello? He said to stay hello. Alright, we'll do the pyramid thingy. I just got a pyramid, we'll go take the other one. Where will that lead us?
What is going on here? First I have to shoo away a creeping white tomcat, and now there's a perfect stranger in my bathroom. Get out, will you?
So we have stumbled in the middle of a bathroom with a lady taking her bath. Charm 7. Oof. Alright, I'll just get out of here.
Little mix-up indeed. I don't know what you and that horrible little imp are planning, but leave my bathroom out of it.
I'll just take this.
The seven grant abundance! No, if you please!
Yes, yes, I'm leaving. And with that, we'll continue on the next part. See you then, folks.